roundup. So we have 5 alumni from Asante Africa Foundation who are going to share with us their real life, real stories, who are going to share with us how our different programs have transformed to whom they are today. So welcome everyone, welcome everybody. I know you have joined to Asante Africa Foundation panel event, but let us know a bit about Asante Africa Foundation. So by just starting, in a nutshell, what is Asante Africa Foundation? Asante Africa Foundation is a non-government organization that empowers and educates East African youth to tackle life challenges and be able to prosper confidently in today's world economy and be able to solve different challenges within their communities. So we are guided by different programs that offer solutions to different challenges, such as youth lacking jobs, youth lacking trainings, teachers lacking trainings to quality education, girls being marginalized and being undermined with various cultural norms, and students dropping out of school. So from Asante Africa Foundation, we believe that every youth has talents and potentials, but not everyone has access to opportunities. So what we do is to address the gap by partnering with local communities, local schools, different educational stakeholders. So we all come together to offer educational resources. We offer essential skills across personal development, job readiness, entrepreneurship, and also offer support to what youth need, just to ensure they all reach their full potentials to create a better society and improve youth quality of lives and livelihood. So from Asante Africa Foundation, we have 3 programs. One of the programs is Youth Livelihood Program, the program that trains secondary youth about leadership, entrepreneurship, and job readiness. So we have the Wezesha Vijana program. This is for teen girls in primary schools that empowers young girls with health and hygiene knowledge, financial and business skills, as well as social skills to enable young girls access education and be able to overcome various cultural norms and traditions. And we have another program that supports academic and quality learning. Under this program, we have the scholarship program and the teachers training. So the scholarship program do offer gifted students from low-income countries that are unable to access education. So it offers them with financial aid and school support to succeed in the academics. And also the teachers training, we offer teaching techniques and teaching pedagogies to teachers for quality learning and also digital tools to access digital learning. So our 5 panelists today have been uniquely impacted by our program. Each of them is uniquely impacted by our programs, so especially the LI program and scholarship program. We'll all get to hear from them. And the LI program, so it's a 3-phase program that complements academics and non-academic skills, and so as to enable youth transit successful from school to life beyond school. So from school, we mean they are able to transit with great academics to higher learning institutions through various educational supports, and life beyond schools, they are enabled to get essential skills that will enable them to participate actively in community advocacy, to become social entrepreneurs, as well as sustain their lives. So within our programs today, we are going to invite our 5 panelists that are going to share with us how our programs that I've been mentioning have impacted them uniquely. So our panelists are from Tanzania, but our programs cut across East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, and we are also in US, but these are just few of the many that have benefited from our programs. So once our panelists will be sharing their stories, feel free to ask a question in the chat box. At the end of the discussions, we'll get to respond to your questions. So among our 5 panelists today, we have Katibu Mgunya from University of Sokoine. We have Chantal Mushi from Arusha Secondary School, a Form 6 student. We have Beatrice Samuel, a university student from Sokoine University. We have Asha Maulid, also a university graduate from Sokoine University. And we have Lebon Masingisa, an Asante Africa Regional Coordinator. So welcome, everyone. Let's get to hear their transformative stories and how amazing they are. So welcome, Katibu. Let's get to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Madam Gloria, for the wonderful introduction. As I was introduced, my names are Hatib Mbunya, and I am a student at Sokoine University of Agriculture, taking agricultural economics and agribusiness. I'm very privileged today and humbled to get this opportunity to share my story with the Asante Africa Foundation. So to begin with, a little bit about me. I'm a firstborn in a family of 4 children. I was born on the 5th of May, 1997. And as a firstborn, you know, my parents are civil servants. My mother is a teacher, a primary school teacher. My father is an agricultural officer. So I was lucky. I got that privilege at the age of 7 to join St. Leo, the Great English Medium Pre-Primary School, from my nursery and all the way to completing my grade 1 to grade 7 primary school education. And this school was a newly established school under the Catholic Archdiocese of Tabora. And I was lucky being among the first graduates from the school in 2011. So about my primary school education, I had nothing very so much special about me, because the whole journey, I was not a very great performer in class. I also didn't have the privilege to be a leader in my primary school education. The only thing that I remember I was good at was debate. So I was among the best debaters in my school when I was in primary school. So later in 2012, I joined Arusha Boys Secondary School for my O-level education from Form 1 to Form 4. And there is where my teachers started to see the leadership potential in me. I remember throughout the journey from Form 1 to Form 4, I held different leadership positions, starting with a dormitory prefect. But again, these positions were actually, I was forcefully forced to be in those positions, because I was never confident being a leader, but neither I didn't want to be one. So I remember one incident in 2013, when I was in school at parade, a teacher came and announced me to be the academic prefect when I was in Form 2, I remember. So I was crying in front of the students, in front of the teachers, like I cannot be a leader. So my leadership experience in my ordinary level school was actually horrible. And I left Arusha Boys Secondary School in 2015 with that horrible leadership experience, but again, with an incredible academic performance. I remember in the history of that school, no one had performed the way I performed until now. No one have managed to perform the performance I did when I was graduating from the school. So in 2017, I was selected to join Same Boys High School for my advanced secondary school education, taking physics, chemistry, and biology. Praise be to God, for the school had several clubs, and that was my first opportunity where you join a school where you can learn something apart from the academic issues. So there were about 10 and counting, a number of clubs. But my stay and my assessment from the clubs, I was really attracted by 2 major clubs. One was the Asante Africa's Leadership Club, and the other one was the Young Scientists Club. So because these clubs caught my attention, I actually decided to join the club, and I was among the members of the club. So the turning point for my leadership experience began when I joined the Asante Africa's Leadership Club. I remember we had 2 leaders, Sadiq and Samuel. These were youth from the school, from Same Boys High School, whom were lucky to attend one of the LEI, I mean the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Incubator Summits from Asante Africa Foundation, which was held in Nairobi. And when they came back to school, we were lucky to learn from them. They didn't only let us learn, but they were also inspiring us, you know, their level of confidence, their level of self-motivation. their sense of purpose really inspired me a lot. So from that knowledge and that inspiration from my fellow students, I was really pushed to now start willingly to ask for positions to lead. I realized that I was actually underestimating myself. I thought we were learning skills like dream mapping, you're realizing who you really are. And through those skills, I started realizing that actually I was really underestimating myself. And maybe I had a very great capabilities as a leader, as an innovator, as a problem solver. So I decided to take initiative to contest for the secretary post in the Young Scientists Club. And this was my very first time becoming a leader by choice. Inspired by several problems that happened in the school, and as a leader in the Young Scientists Club, I managed to experiment 2 award-winning technologies in the Young Scientists Tanzania exhibition and competition. So I later became part of the leaders in the leadership club, and as we were graduating, we had several pay it forward strategy. Pay it forward, that means when you complete your sessions at Asante Africa Foundation, you are told that this session you were taught freely, and you need to pay it back to your community. Let your community learn, let your community benefit from what you also benefited from. So we had that strategy for initiating our own organization. As Form 6 graduates, we went back in our localities, and I personally established 3 clubs in my community in Igunga, Tabora. So through the clubs, we performed several impactful projects touching hundreds of lives, doing different trainings, going to visit hospitals, doing cleanups and different environmental projects, planting trees. So we managed together with the organization, our organization managed to become one of the implementing partners of Asante Africa Foundation. And together with Asante Africa, we managed to organize several leadership and entrepreneurship summits, which were held here in Tanzania. So as part of my leadership experience, I also became a delegate, a facilitator, and a guest speaker in several international conferences, forums, and summits, including the LEI summits, including the Forum for Biological Diversity, and many other international conferences like the Tanzania Model International United Nations. So since the time I joined the club activities, I no longer became passive to changes. I always look for opportunities and grasp them, and whatever any opportunity cuts across me, I need to actually grasp that opportunity. And for over 3 years now, I've been working around environmental conservation, and I am currently designing a program that actually targets to create environmental entrepreneurs and change attitudes and perceptions of Tanzanian kids, mostly in climate changes, through sports and play. I believe that we Tanzanian kids are lacking this opportunity, and because they're having no any, their attitudes are very passive among this climate change, and they're the one who are at very high risk of getting this impact of climate change. But again, we have this very high potential of using sports and play to let them realize the impact of climate change, and let them be the change agents to play part on the things that really affects them. So currently, I am an assistant membership and extension Rotaract district chair, the district 9214, which actually accommodates Tanzania and Uganda. I'm also the SUA Rotaract vice president. I also hold the position as the vice chairperson for the Tanzania Agricultural Economics and Agribusiness Students Association. I also hold several leadership positions, including the post of being a vice secretary for the Cho Life Tanzania, being a project coordinator for the Youth of United Nations SUA chapter, Earth Day Network, and the Tanzania Youth Biodiversity Network. I was also lucky to be one among the Asante Africa's regional coordinators, and I am a project chair for the Best Way organization. And of course, a student, as I mentioned earlier, a student at Sokoine University of Agriculture. So there are a lot to say about how really Asante Africa, particularly the LEI program, has played a great role for transforming my life. For these few remarks, I will use a lot of minutes explaining, and perhaps I couldn't finish mentioning the good that I think these programs have brought me. I always walk around with my books, both the year 1 curriculum, the year 2 curriculum, because these are my reference point. Whenever I find an opportunity, I don't know how to go about it, I go back to the LEI books, the handouts, and I learn the skills, and I go for that opportunity. So saying these few remarks, I would love to send my thanks and gratitude to all who support Asante Africa Foundation and its program. I have personally experienced a lot of changes that I have transformed actually my life, but also through me, I have created an impact to hundreds of other youth. I also witnessed a true transformation in many other youth attributed by me, something that always gives me the sense of fulfillment, the sense of that I am fulfilling my potentials, and really propels me to do more, because when you do something and you really see the impact, that gives you the courage to keep doing what you are doing. So my word to those who supports the organization, and as well as the organization, I would like to send my prayers. May God bless you. May God bless all who supports the organization. May also God bless Asante Africa Foundation. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Katibu, and we were listening attentively. Thank you for sharing your story. We are proud to hear how our programs, especially the LIVE program, the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Incubator program, have impacted you. We have heard your leadership journey, to how you lack confidence to leadership contesting, to how you hold a lot of various leadership positions. And from there, we look forward to a great, great Katibu. And we are so proud of your success. Thank you very much, Katibu, for sharing. And to our audiences, feel free to drop a question after hearing Katibu's story. I'd like to welcome another panelist, Beatrice Samuel from Sokoine University. Welcome, Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Oh, she's not unmuted. Hey, Beatrice is muted.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Beatrice.
Okay, my name is Beatrice Samuel. I'm a student of Sokoine University of Agriculture. I'm now pursuing my bachelor degree in food science and technology. I'm from Arusha, Tanzania. I completed my primary school at Taiju Primary School, which is at Arusha. Then I was selected to join my secondary school in Manyara Secondary School. From Manyara Secondary School, I performed well. Then I was selected to join at Tumati High School, where I took my advanced education, Form 5 and Form 6. Then from Tumati High School, I performed well again, and then I went, which was truly my dream university. Okay. My story with Asante Africa started when I was in Form 1, which was under Asante Africa Foundation. So at first I was really excited about the club, and from the first time I entered the club, I was just willing to join as a permanent member. So I joined the club as a permanent member since Form 1. From there, Asante Africa member staffs were coming to school, teaching different staffs. Then in Form 2, because I was a permanent member, and I was selected to become the general secretary of the club. So I ran the club from Form 3 as a general secretary to Form 4, from Form 2 to Form 3. Then Form 3, I was selected to become a chairperson of the club. I was really happy because I attended the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Incubator in Nairobi, and that is where I learned a lot of things from Asante Africa. The first thing I learned from Asante Africa was confidence. Sure, Asante Africa taught us how to become confident. We were a lot of confidence, and Yeah. Then another thing Asante Africa taught us is entrepreneurship. So from when I got the skills of entrepreneurship, since that day, was entrepreneurship, savings, and budgeting. So since that day I got the skills, I was able to own my small microfinance known as M-Pesa, where people do transaction of money. In which M-Pesa has helped me a lot personally. I was able to send, I was able to pursue my own stuff like cards instead of disturbing parents. Dad, I don't have this. I was able to buy my own stuff. And from payitforward, the skills of payitforward, because I live in a Maasai area, and you know Maasai people are very cultural. So in my society, I went there to my society and I was able to educate my fellow girls on effects of female genital mutilation, forced marriages, early marriages, importance of education, and yeah. So from there, they were open-minded. They went to school. They told their parents to take them to school. And sometimes, while I was talking to my elders, those Maasai parents, and I was educating them on the effects of cultural practices, I thank the Lord. They understood me, and they they successfully leave the cultures. So my page further in another one was when I completed my advanced level, I was able to volunteer teaching in Tuamke Primary School, where there was inability to, where the teachers were very few, so teachers were not enough in teaching all classes. So my 5 months since I completed Form 6, I was able to go there and taught some students in English subjects, in mathematics, those class 7 which were going to sit on their NECTA exam. So I taught them and they performed well in their NECTA exam, and I was very happy. So all I can say about Asante Africa, it has took us from lower stage to higher stage. It has taught us a lot. It has made the impact not only to us, but to the whole society. Like to me, the way I go and taught my society about the effect of cultural practices, and they understood taking girls to school, I was really happy. And this all it is because of Asante Africa. So all I can say about Asante Africa is that, and I want to thank you a lot for continue supporting us on our initiatives as girls, as alumni. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Beatrice. Thank you for sharing your story. So we have heard from Beatrice how confidently she is. So with the program, improved her self-esteem. So we have heard from Beatrice how she has been championing for changes in her communities, the Maasai community that are practicing female genital mutilation. And we have heard from Beatrice how she has been paying it forward to her community by teaching the primary schools. So when we are saying Asante Africa, educating children, transforming world, so we educate not only the ones in our programs, but they educate the communities and transform the world to a better place. Thank you very much, Beatrice, for sharing your story. So our participants, our audiences, feel free to drop questions to our panelists. They'll be answered lastly. So let's welcome another panelist, Asha Maulid. Asha, you're warmly welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I would like to this time explaining you how Asante Africa has built my future and the real Asha. About this face you see today, full of smile, glowing, is all about Asante Africa. My name is Asha Maulid, as introduced earlier. Currently, I study at Sokoine University of Agriculture, pursuing my first degree in Bachelor of Science in Animal Science, and it's my first year at the university. I'm coming from the family of 5 members, leading by a single parent, and who is a woman, I mean a mother, without any permanent job or anything that assure her to get all the requirements and all the basic needs from the family. Currently, I'm so happy because without Asante Africa, I don't know how my education will look like or my future, what will be. Thank you so much, guys. I remember when I was in primary school, we are living a such tough life. I understand that when I say tough life, you get all the pictures that the food is not assured. Just forget about other things like clothes and other issues. Just the food, because my mom was the only one who has a responsibility to take care of the family, and her health issues was not good enough. So she trying her best, and thanks God, she was made it. I remember when I was in class 7, I was a bright student, good one, hardworking, but without any future about education, because at that time we used to pay school fees and other issues concerning money. My mom was like, what am I going to do? You are now in class 7. Would you stay at home, or what a miracle God can make? She was full of stress. I remember it was May 13, 2013. It was afternoon. I may call it a great afternoon of my life, because Asante Africa visit our school and introduce themselves that they have a scholarship program that need to help anyone who is in need without looking on who is she or how they know him or her. The only things which could be the quality or the characters for a person to join Asante Africa was a good performance, and the one who is coming from such tough life. Thanks God, I explained to Asante Africa how my life was, and they get all my records on Namanga Primary School, where I was studying. Thanks to my teachers, because they were too honest that who the real Asha is. They wasn't afraid that if we may say a real condition about her family, maybe she will feel bad, or thanks God they were able to assist me where I wasn't able to explain, because it is really touched my life. It was really pain to speak about. My mom was not able. My mom wasn't sure of us to live. I hope you guys understand. After a month, after that conversation with Asante Africa, I wasn't know if they will come back or no. I was not assured of these good things that they are doing to me. I wasn't, but thanks God they come back. And at that time, they made me to be another person, because in my family I'm the firstborn, so I'm the one to make sure that others, I mean my young brothers and sisters, they are living good. And at that time, my life was in that position, without any future, any good history, any supportive help from anyone. But when Asante Africa came back, they really changed my life. I want to say, you guys, your motto is living. Your motto is really that educating the children, transforming the world. You transform the world from the June before the mid of the year holiday. You transform my world and made Asha to be the Asha that you are listening now. Thank you so much. So from that, I started my journey as an Asante Africa alumni and a scholarship recipient. Thank you so much, because they provide all the need from the school. I remember I have a credit in my school, because at that time we used to pay the school fee, but thanks God they made it true. I sat for my final exam on primary school and I performed well, and I was selected to join a secondary school, which is not good enough. As you know, the village school, they are just to support children from being a street children, but they do not provide that quality education that anyone need, because there are many limitations, like scarcity of water, no good teachers, the environment is not supportive. Thanks God at Asante Africa, they follow all the procedures and take me to another school, which I can say the one which helped to grow Asha up to this stage in Abushi Secondary. Thank you so much. It is because of Asante Africa. My mom cannot afford even at this time. But Asante Africa, you make me feel like my mom was an employee from a certain company, or I can say maybe an employee from the government institution. I like you, and I really appreciate. To the journey will continue to be happy, and my life was changing truly. In 2015, I was too happy and full of surprise, because I was proposed to attend one of the Asante Africa program, Leadership and Entrepreneurship Incubator, LEI, at Highway Secondary School in Nairobi. I was so happy. My mom was like, Asha, we live at Namanga, where it is the border between Tanzania and Kenya. But throughout the life that I have been living in Namanga, I wasn't able to visit the Nairobi city, because of that life that we were living. Thanks God, Asante Africa, my mom was too happy. I can't explain, you guys, I can't explain. So I was able to join the program, but my happy was integrated more when I was in that program, because I learned many things that I don't know where in the world I could find such a potential issues that helped me to be the one that she's speaking today. At that program, one of my favorite sessions was determining who you are and the dream mapping. On that session, I was able to determine who is Asha. I remember our speaker was telling us that your history shouldn't make you feel unhappy, or you can't do anything, because sometimes I was thinking, my family is such poor, not have a good enough connection that will enable me to reach where I want to be. Then what are my value? I feel like I had no any value in the society, because we had no such life that everyone would like to have. But thanks God, that speaker was enabling Asha to understand what are my values. I determined the great potential inside me that I had a leadership skill. Though I'm a leader from my family, as explained, I'm the firstborn from the 4 children of my mother. So I used to guide my young in small issues and about family, also in academic, but that wasn't enough to make me the good leader which currently I am. That session enable Asha to know that a dream doesn't depend on your background, doesn't depend on support from your relatives. You may get support from anyone which is in that category or that career, but not your background or your relatives, because when you are looking at your relatives, you are truly wrong, because most of us, we are coming from such poor without any really story, without any good inspiration, but you are the one to make it. And from that day, I said, I'll be a new Asha. At that session, also, I learned to plan my dream. I remember our speaker told us to draw a picture of 6 steps from where you are and the plans of the 5 years to come. And I was planning things that I am today. I really like animal production, because I'm coming from Namanga, where most of the people at that area, they are pastoralists, but they are keeping animals in a such local and under status level. They are not worrying about the use of technology or other issues in animal production. So I planned that day and thanks God, I'm trying to accomplish that dream. So that program was really great to Asha. Thank you again, Asante Africa. I say it again, you transform my world. That was in Form 2. In Form 4, also 2017, I was able to join LEI program, which was held in Naivasha at Kenya, again, another region in Kenya. And my mom was like, my daughter, you are now a great person at this family, because even I was not expecting what day would I go to like Naivasha. I showed her a picture when I arrived at home that we are at boat. He was like, don't you afraid? Asante Africa is really amazing. Thank you guys for made these things to me. It's like a dream, but when I wake up, it's a really issue. So at Naivasha, I learn many things, but one of the things that implement a new spirit in me is women empowerment and gender issues. I was so interested because where I coming from, as I explained at Namanga, there are many Maasai which practice many gender discriminative issues and others. So at that program, we were teaching the proper method to solve or to tell someone that issue is not good, because when you go to Maasai area and they start to say, you know, FGM is not good and they may kill you. But Asante Africa teaches a good method that enables me to tackle some family directly without them to be aware that this person is wanting us to eliminate these issues or to stop our taboos. I was able to to tell them about the importance in a friendly way that they cannot identify if I am a gender activist or I'm against what they are doing. And thanks God, 2 families out of 3, they were able to change completely and agreed with me because I made it in a friendly way. As Asante Africa teachers, you have to explain the importance, the disadvantages, that they are doing good because they are taboos, but you have to explain in a friendly way that if you don't do this, they could be this and this. You know me, can you see me now? I'm educated. So what would you feel if this young girl in your family will be a lawyer or a person that you are watching on a TV? How would you feel? And they are like, how a Maasai girl can be a lawyer? And I tell them, let us do a trial. Let us take this young girl. For now, she's in Form 3. Let us take this young girl to school, and then you will see the outcomes. And one thing I want to tell you, the Maasai children are very, very bright. When they do so, they were like, Asha, you are a magic person. What have you seen to this girl? And I told them, this is just a little one, and this is just a starting. We must do better. All this I'm trying to pay it forward because all the Asante's program try to enhance and emphasize on us that we must pay it forward. What you get, what a small thing that you earn from Asante Africa, you must pay it forward. Even if it is not financially, because my life was not stable as that, but you must pay it forward. Thanks God for that spirit, because it helps others that are really in need with help. Thank you so much. So when I lived that program at Naivasha, I was a new Asha with new spirit. That family, I know that family was practicing these bad issues. Then I must find a good way. I must be friend to them. I must talk to them. That at the same time I paid for it, but I help. I save others' lives and make sure that I modify even in a single drop someone's life. Thanks God. And from 2017, because in our country we used to go up to Form 6. So during my advanced time, that is Form 5 and Form 6, I was too tough. Many of the Asante Africa program, when they read, I was in school. Then what? I was so like, if I'll be there, I will gain another issue. So maybe this year I'll do a great thing. So that dream of Asante Africa transforming the world is living in Asha. I'm really like and appreciateful to Asante Africa, because without them, I can say in this stable life, I'm nothing. I want to share with you a current issue. For now, I'm a class minister in my college, in my university. I lead 263 people, and everyone was really interesting on what I'm doing. I'm not doing the things that they like, but I'm doing the right thing. And some people may complain, why this and this? And I explain, it's this because of this. You like this because you are in this position. That is wrong. So that's knowledge, that's skills, that's confidence I gain from Asante Africa LEI program. Another issue, Asante Africa, at the beginning of this year, they had one program. I will say it in Swahili, but I'll translate it, that msichana ni tunu. A woman is a valuable mineral. We may compare with gold. or a diamond. So we must value a girl with any donation from 1,000 shillings, because many girls in Tanzania, they are living in a such tough life. Some of them, when they are in their menstrual period, they fail to attend different productive issues like school, because they are not well protected. Thanks for that, because it impacted me a new thing. And currently in my university, I had a gender club. That is called gender sensitization. And this is much more advanced, because it is not dealing with only girls or women. It is also dealing with men's matter. I want to tell you one thing. Not only girls are humiliated, not only girls are humiliated or they are discriminating, also boys tend to have many practices that abuse their right. So I am able to conduct that only because I'm a member of Asante Africa. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Asha Maulid. I welcome you in any animal production issues. You may consult me. And one thing, my inbox is free. Also at this chat, I welcome everyone which has any question, any suggestion, any opinion, our door, and I beg you. Many girls, many people are still want you. Don't stop your help just on Asher or Loibon or others. I beg you, this help may live forever. I'm too glad. I appreciate you, what you have contributing to my life. I like you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I'm done.
Yeah, thank you very much, Asha. We are very proud to hear your story. It is really a transformative story to how young we were, to how a confident Asha is created, bring so much impact in her community. We congratulate your success. Thank you very much for sharing, Asha. So I'd like to welcome another panelist, Loibon Masingisa. So Loibon, we're ready to hear from you. And audiences, questions, the chat box is free for questions. Welcome, Lebon.
Thank you, Madam. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Loibon Masingsa. I am the second born from the family of 8 children. We are living with only our mom because our father is already passed away last year. I was born in 1994 in Selela Ward and raised in Mtombo, a small village there in Arusha. I started my primary education in 2002 and completed in 2008. Later on, I joined my secondary education from 2009 to 2012. Now, what I would like to say about Asante Africa is Asante Africa has impacted me in many areas of my life. But I would like to talk about how Asante Africa actually impacted me in terms of academic issues. So in the earlier, in my life, I passed through a lot of challenges, but that I thank God because I managed to overcome those challenges. But now, when I was a primary student, I also had a lot of challenges that I had to come over. But thank God because I managed to overcome them. But the real challenge has started now when I was completed my primary education and I had now to join for my second education. It was a challenge because everybody was against me, even my father. My late father was even against my education. I only have a support. I only had the support of my mother. And my mother, actually, as you know, Maasai tribe, our mothers, many of our mothers are not that economically strong compared to our fathers. And even if they have those kettles, they are not allowed to maybe to sell them for maybe to support a child to go to school or whatever. So I remember in 2009, I selected to join Manyara Secondary School and as a Form 1 student. And it was a real challenge because I didn't have any support, financial, my school fees and so forth. And that school was a boarding school. So, and my mom was just wondering, like, how can I join that school? Because to my primary education, when I completed, I was the best student. I was the first student. Now I had to go to school. Many of my relatives, it's not that I didn't have relatives to help me. I had them, but no one liked me to study. They were all against my education because Maasai by that time, they didn't believe much in education. They love a student, they love a person or a child who is more interested in reality than maybe going to school. But despite of that challenge, I didn't quit. I remember because I realized this, because of the situation, I knew that even if I'm going to wait, maybe for someone who will going to support me to school, I will not have anyone. So I might wait forever. So I told my mom, you know what, mom? During the day, the first day of the opening school, I want to go with you to school. Whichever the situation I have, I just have to go to school like the way I am. So even if it is with my shuka, my Maasai shuka, I have to go to school like that. And I thank God because it was in 2009, that by that day, very morning, I told my mom we have to go to school. And I took my mom with me. She was just crying because she knew by the time we are going to reach to school, I was going to get back to be chased away because I didn't have anything. At that morning, I told my mom, we have to go. I didn't have anything. I didn't have I didn't have school shoes. I didn't have school uniforms. I didn't have school fees. I didn't have anything. And I went to school at that morning. When I reached at school with my mom, I met a lot of students, a lot of newcomers at that time. They were registering, and there were teachers who were receiving the newcomers with the requirements, school particulars, which you must have them with you when by the time you are going to join up. So I waited until my time now is came. And they asked me, where is maybe a bucket? I didn't have it. Where is maybe your blanket or whatever? I didn't have it. Where is your school uniform? I didn't have school uniform. What is your exercise book? I didn't have exercise book. Then what are you doing here? I told them I don't have any support. But I decided to come to school rather than waiting as an excuse. I decided to come so that if the teacher's now going to chase me, it's okay. now I will comfortably leave the school because I know it's not by my willing, but because I realized no one will support me. So those teachers who were in that duty of registering students, they went to the head administrator at that time and told her that we have a student here who came to school. It's true that he was selected to join our school, but he have nothing with him. He don't have anything. He don't even have his school uniform or school shoes. So the head administrators came to see me and to join with the teachers to see the wonders, the new wonders now. Because how can you come to the boarding school? You don't even have your trunk, you don't have your exercise books, but you're just coming. You know, because I trusted that I have something extra. Being in a position to not pay your accommodation or your school fees, I didn't want to take it as a challenge or as an excuse to now drop myself from joining to my education. And they went to look on my result, and they saw me as I was the second best student selected to join that school. Then that gave my headmistress a courage now to help me. So she called other teachers, and they had a small meeting now to see how they can just help me to study, because they realized that I am so interested in studying, and that's why I even come with the situation I had. And they decided to support me. I remember they donated for money, and they went to buy me school uniform, school shoes, and also even exercise books. They gave me exercise books. Then that was enough for me. And I remember the headmaster told me, "Are you ready to be?" Because our school is a boarding school. Then how are you going to be here while you don't have a bed, you don't have a chair, you don't have anything? Can you be a day scholar? I told her, no, I can't be a day scholar. I want to be a boarding student, because I didn't want to go back again to the previous environment I came. I mean home, because I know I will just be stressed and all that. So I decided now. I told the administrator, no, I just want to be here, even if I have to sleep in the class where I used to study, I will do so. I am ready to do so. So they allow me now to study. They allow me to be a student, and I was so much happy by that time. And I remember she told me, so now we are going to see you. We are going to assess you. We are going to assess you on how you are going to behave, because you have nothing here. You are just depending others to eat and depending others to do some other stuff. So we are going to see you. What is going to guarantee your presence here is your academic performance. Then I said, thank you. I thank you so much, because that is the only opportunity I had to show myself, my potential, and what I had by that time. So I remember what I was doing is, during the prep time, I was approaching one of my friends and go to his bed to sleep. And by the time he's coming to sleep, at the end, he will wake up me and I will to the class. I remember it was 10 p.m. So 10 p.m. I usually come to the class 10 p.m. and start to study till morning. And thank you, God, because I struggled hard and I tried so much to study to make sure that I am becoming the best no matter what. And I remember when I was a Form 2 student in 2010, I was selected among the best students in the district in my mock examination. And that gave my head mistress so much courage, and she was so much happy. Like, the challenges I had, despite the challenges I had, it was not an excuse which can maybe hinder me to do well in my class. So I was always ahead of others in terms of academic issues, and I didn't look any other challenge like maybe it might distract me from becoming the best in my class. And they decided to now start to find for me a scholarship. Thank you, God, because fortunately by the time I remember it was July 2010, Asante Africa came to my school looking for students to have scholarship. And I was the one who was proposed by the school. We, together with other, we were 15, the best students. The school had more than 800 students. So you will automatically expect to have a lot of students who are good academically. So I was among the 15 students who were proposed by the organization, by the school, to compete for that 2 posts. So the organization had, Asante Africa organization had only 2 posts, but we were 15 competing for that position. And I remember, because my head mistress knew exactly the situation of my life, she called me secretly and she told me, you know what, Loibon, this is the only opportunity you have to secure your dreams. So make sure you are going to do well. Make sure you are going to exceed every, you are going to get one of these 2 opportunities. Otherwise, no, I have any other thing with you, because I gave you enough to be here. And this is the only opportunity I see that it can take you to your dreams. So I told my head ministers, I won't let you down. I will make sure that I will have this position. So what I did now is I did the best. I was among the two students who had that opportunity now to be one of the students who now going to be the scholars of the organization. So thank you for Asante Africa, because they gave me the sense of purpose, they gave me the sense of life, and now I saw myself secured, saw myself full of hope and love. And from that time, the Asante Africa took me, they nurtured me and give me the best education I could not imagine that I could have it. And from that time, I didn't have anything. But once Asante Africa gave me that opportunity, they turned my life into a paradise, because I had a lot, I had everything. I had everything I needed as a student and as a child. They give me that sense of purpose and that sense of life, but also they built my confidence now to positively change myself and to change the community around me. And I would like just to encourage someone out there that it is not over. It is not over. God has not done with you. You just need to show that commitment, that resilience, and that hard working, as well as that readiness that you want to go for it. Because there are people out there who might come and see that hard work within you, who might want to come and see that person within you who you need really to lift it or to let him out despite the challenges you have. And one of the things I realized is that Asante Africa taught me is that you don't have to have a strong background in terms of economically to have a big dream. You just have that willingness. You just need to have that commitment toward your dreams. You just need to have that readiness toward your dreams. Because right now, if you see me, you can't imagine that it was Lebon who was 2009. He was nothing. He was zero. But the organization took me from zero to where I am today. They took me from zero to something which I am today. So, and currently, once I finished my bachelor degree, I told myself, like, where should now I will go to apply these potential skills which the organization has impacted in my life. Then I said that I have to join this family. I have to join this family and be one of the people who go to now to show a case and to testify to the world that what this organization can do to the world, especially to the East African youth. Thank you so much, Asante Africa. I am so much proud of you. I'm so much proud of you. I'm so much proud of you for the people, for the person I am today. I love you all. I love to be here. I love the team. I love Erna. I love you, program managers. I love our director, our country director. I love all. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for what you did for me. I love you.
Thank you. We love you too and appreciate. Thank you for sharing a story. Yes, it's all about determination and readiness to what you want to do. So we have had a very strong story and a very transformative one from Reboni. So thank you, audiences, for your questions. We are receiving questions and we will respond them lastly. So let me welcome our last panelist, Chantal Moshe. So Chantal, you're warmly welcome to share your story.
Thank you, madam. I hope everyone can hear me well. Well, my name is Chantal Novat, as introduced by Madam Glory. I'm currently in Form 6 at Arusha Girls High School, taking physics, geography, and mathematics at the school, vice head girl, and the chairperson of Protect Our Youth Club. I'm living in Dar es Salaam. I'm the second born among the 3 girls. I'm living with my mom, who is a woman with no permanent job also. My journey with Asante Africa started when I finished my Standard 7 education in 2015, where I was selected to join a school which is far away from home, and I was accounted to be a day scholar. At that time, my mom found that that thing was very sensitive when comparing the environment of that school and the environment of where we're living, that she can't afford the bus fare every day of taking me to school and fulfill all the needs I have to receive when going to school, the meal and all costs which I need to pay when I am on my way to school and I'm on my way to back home. So at that time, I remember Madam Nche introduced me to Asante Africa Foundation, whereby I was just told that you're going to join a boarding school, which is Orkolili. Recently, I was very, 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 very excited because I was like, yes, at least I'll be settled, because I was just thinking, how can I manage to fight for bus? Will I manage to be early in class? Will I manage to study well? Because being a day scholar in Dar es Salaam, it's very, 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 very stressful. So I went to Orkolili, and then I talked to the school headmistress, the school manager, Madam Mche, and then she told me, you just stay and study. You'll see who make you be here, and you see who supports you until you're here. At first, I remember Albert, Mr. Albert, and other members of Asante Africa came to school, and I was introduced to my new family. For real, I was so excited, because I was like, these people took me from the dark side of mine to the light and bright side. Because at that time, when I know that I'm going to be a day scholar, I used to aim near. I used to say that, anyways, I'll be a teacher. That's all I have to do, because to be a day scholar, that means that I can't have the 100% sure of getting well, because there are a lot of stuff, a lot of obstacles I have to face at that time, and I was too young to face those obstacles. So I was so excited. I started to start that school, and Asante Africa supported me very well in everything I did and everything I faced. I used to tell them in every challenges, they used to help me and give the right way of solving them. I remember it was in 2018. Asante Africa took me to the summit of YLC, which was held at Same Boys, where I went there and participated in business planning, and I won. I got this certificate of being the first one during that competition of representing what we was taught, and that thing encouraged me in different sectors, because after I finished my Form 4 education at Olaleni Secondary School, during Corona period, I used to to make masks using kitenge so that people in my locality can afford because they're cheap. Where's my mask? Because they're cheap. So I used to make them and sell them in low price so everyone can afford. And this is the application of the knowledge I got from Asante Africa, and that summit which I attended at Sami Boys High School. Also, Asante Africa encouraged me in different ways and different things to do. And I remember I faced a lot of challenges in 2018. The challenges which depressed me, depressed everything about me, psychologically and even mentally, automatically. But I talked to Madam Glory Mushi, Madam Glory Shayo. They helped me in different ways. Until now, I can see that I got a family which is always in my side. Yeah. Also, Asante Africa gave me the certificate, which gave me the confidence of standing everywhere and see that, yes, I learned this and this and this. I may stand and teach anybody. This is the certificate of attending at the summit. This helped me in different ways because being a chairperson of protecting our youth club, the club which involving the experience, you have to have the experiences of different things. Like when you're talking about protecting our youth, what do you understand? I show them that I have a certificate, so you may just have to choose to trust me or trusting the certificate. They choose to trust all of them, me and the certificate. So I get the position of being the chairperson of protecting our youth program. Also, through Asante Africa, I've learned different things, especially in dream mapping. Using dream mapping, I just understand the fact that what matters, it's not the environment I have, but what matters is the way I use the opportunities I get and the ability of focusing on what I have. And due to that, I remember it was in 2017 where I see the letter from Elna. I saw that she said that she's an engineer. I was so excited to say that she's a woman, right? She's an engineer. Why not me? And from then I started calling myself Engineer Shani, Engineer Shani, Engineer Chantal. And until now, I aimed forward that my biggest aim and biggest target is to be an electric and electronic engineer. And this was far pushed by the courage I got from Asante Africa. It was in 2020 when I attended I can call it the program, which was held at Pasua in Kilimanjaro. And I get the certificate of being a good student with good performance. So this encouraged me that if people around me can see what I'm doing, why can't I appreciate myself? So that encouraged me in different ways. I can see that the thing which also gives me confidence of standing in different places, say that, yes, I can do it. So this courage which I get from Asante Africa helped me to pass through different challenges and with confidence and stand strongly because I got different lessons, different experiences, different knowledge which I got during summits and during the intermingles with my fellow scholars of Asante Africa. I can see that Asante Africa has played a great role of changing my life from where I was to who I am currently and who are going to be the future. And also, I didn't apply them in personal benefits. I also applied the knowledge I got to the people with I can say the people with low awareness about themselves, about valuing themselves. I did this when I attend my Form 4 education at Oleni. I visited the orphanage, which is found in Dar es Salaam at Sinza. There, I talked to a lot of students, a lot of youth who were also at my same age and other were very young. I told them one thing, that what makes you strong in this life is not to believe that being this person have to be this way. Maybe being an engineer have to be rich, being maybe a pilot have to be this way. But what you have to believe is that if if I get a hand which I can stand, the hand which can pull me up, what I have to do is to hold that hand tightly. And through that word, I changed a lot of youth from there, and a lot of them face me and followed me and asked us, you girl, where do you get the courage of talking to us? And we are of the same level, we are of the same age, we are of the same, I can say we are of this, we are the same peers. But I told them that the thing is, you just have to know you can do it, so you have to do it. And all these words were not from me, were from the education and from the knowledge I got from Asante Africa Summit. And what I have to add up and say it that thank you very much, Asante Africa. I will not stop today. Thank you. I will just thank you every day for everything I receive from you, especially the cooperation and the support I got from you. And also what I have to say on top of this is, let me pass my great apology for everything that I did wrong, maybe everything that I was not going right from the time I started joining you until now, and how I'm going on. Don't get tired of me, because I can say that I can't be perfect all the time. But what I promise you right now, and I'll be promising you that I won't let you down anymore. I won't let any of your lesson that you gave it to me to be down. I'll make sure that the lesson I got from you will reach everybody who is near and even far away from where I am. And also, I may thank you because the status and how people saw me, how people see me this time, how people classify me this time, how people talk about Chantal, who they know, it's all because of you, because the confidence I have, the way of interacting people I have, that's all because of you. And what I remember, it was in 2018, June, I went to Nelson Mandela for science innovation. I met the Koreans who came and taught us about Arduino. I get one wrote a note to me and said that, you girl, the way you are, please don't change. You have the great courage of intermingling with different people from different countries. You just be who you are. And I thank God, because that was not me. The courage I got, it is not from me, it is from you, Asante Africa. So I clearly appreciate your support to me, and I clearly still need that support to reach that, to pull me and push me to reach my aim. And on top of that, may God bless you, and may God guide all of things that you do, and may God add up where you take out, and not only Asante Africa, but all people who support Asante Africa in one way or another. And also my fellow scholars, may God guide us well, so that we may not let down the people who believe us and the people who expect a lot of things from us. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much, Chantal. Thank you also for sharing your story. All stories are very touching, very empowering, encouraging, even others who are listening. We have heard a lot, so to our audiences, I think you have heard how our programs, especially the one which has been spoken mostly, scholarship and the leadership program, how it has empowered them. These are just few of the many, because the LI program, the leadership program, have impacted over 300,000 youth across East Africa. So with them, we are able to reach more communities, to reach more schools. They have been speaking of the Paying It Forward, which is our unique model of impacting others. So it's sharing what they gained to other communities, to other family members, to other students, to other schools. And we have heard of how confidently they are, how confident they can address different challenges in their communities, like Asha. They've gained skills on how to tackle various life challenges. So we are creating a better society with these ones. I'm sure we will create a better society with more. So when we say Asante Africa transforming world, so we are joining hands with you, our partners, with you, our audience, in transforming the world. Thank you very much for listening to our panelists. It's time for questions. So let's get to the questions to our panelists. So one of the question is, I would like to know specifically how Asante Africa contributed to who you are today. So one of the panelists. So the
Thank
question
you.
is,
Yes, I may go to reply to that question. To me, as Africa first, they accommodated everything I needed as a student to achieve my dreams. But also, it was not ended that. They also took me to different summits. They introduced me to different people who now I call them friends from different countries. And these people, they give me different skills. From this summit, I learned a lot of skills now, which now I'm using to guide my life and even to help my communities. I learned leadership skills, I learned dream mapping skills, I learned entrepreneurship skills, I learned job readiness, interview, communication skills, which are very important skills currently in the world we have. And those skills help me to turn out as who I am today, as one of the best speakers. In terms of public speaking, I have those skills to speak with people confidently and to inspire others. Yes.
thank you very much, Laibon, for responding to that. Next question is, what message do you have for the youth who share the same path of need to get to their dreams, just as how you did? So to any of the other panelists, what message can you share to others who have shared the same path of how you have demonstrated? What message do you have for them?
Well, can I answer that question?
Yes, just go ahead.
Hello,
The message which I can give them is, I just want to tell them this: if you pass through a lot of challenges, this means that you get something which you have to show, which is inside you. Like people who are passing through different challenges, like which I used to pass at that time before I met Asante Africa, what they have to do is that they have to make sure that they do everything at their level best, that they can show up what they have inside them. For example, as I heard from Mr. Loibon there, is that he passed through a lot of challenges, and what he did is he tried to do a level best. He tried to do his level best in his education. That's what gives him the great priorities in different ways. I can say that.
Thank you very much, Chantal, for responding. We have another question here. It's, how important is a 4-year university degree in East Africa to enter into a well-compensated workforce, not necessarily an entrepreneur? How important is a 4-year university degree in East Africa to enter into a well-compensated workforce, not necessarily entrepreneur?
Yeah, hello. I think I should go for this one. Hopefully you hear me well. So as the question asks, how importantly the 4 years degree in East Africa. It's important to go in employment rather than specifically going to entrepreneurship. I would say this is actually the aim of this education. So we are prepared to go and compensate in the workforce that's very needed in the community. But again, I think entrepreneurship is very important because even inside the organization, that inside the workforce that's already there, we also need people who are innovative. We also need people who are risk takers. We need people who are self-initiative. So we still need entrepreneurship skills, not only for our personal employment, for our self-employment and creating other people's employment, but also in the workforce. You know, research says that most of the university in East Africa doesn't really provide the skills that matches the workforce, the needs from the workforce, you know. So employers need a certain kind of skills, and most of our curriculum in university are knowledge-based curriculums, not competence-based. And this is not what actually is needed in the workforce. So in the workforce, they need people with competence. They need people who can do something. But this actually, our university degrees in East Africa doesn't really prepare us for that. So it's very important for a youth to actually not only focus in his academic performances and actually in the knowledge that he or she acquires in university, but rather she or he should also look for other opportunities, like learn how he could be an entrepreneur, because this is what actually is needed by the world, not only in the workforce, but in creating your own employment. And as you know, this is the global challenge, and employment is the global challenge. So in East Africa, it's even worse. So entrepreneurship is very important. And I think it's important whether you are going to be employed or you are not going to be employed. Still, you need to act as an entrepreneur, so that you stand out in front of many in the workforce, and you also stand out in front of many in creating your livelihood and transforming your community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katibu. I know we have a lot of questions, but our time is limited. So we are going to the last question, but we can still respond to other questions of the visual. So the last question is, how do you feel and what opportunities do you find in being connected to your fellow youth in East Africa through summits? How do you feel and what opportunities do you find in being connected to your fellow youth in East Africa through summits? Yes, anyone
So,
to respond?
should I also go for that?
Okay, Katibu.
Yeah. So actually, it's a very great opportunity connecting with people from different places. And you know, we are learning. We are taught in these summits that we should be, you know, global citizens. So connecting with a fellow from Kenya, connecting with fellow from Uganda, really gives us that opportunity to learn the diversity that we are experiencing. So we see the difference in culture, the difference in even the way people live in these two different regions. But again, you know, we get to learn from one another. You know, your environment affects your learning situation. So we might be learning something which our friends from Kenya do not learn. So we get to learn from one another. But also it's an opportunity that we share different opportunities. So I remember one of the opportunities that I got from connecting with my fellow in Kenya. I got opportunity to participate in one of the programs called the Jijali program, in which I was capacitated on different skills, on entrepreneurship skills. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't that simple. I couldn't know about that opportunity, but through that connection we are having with those people from other countries, from our neighboring countries, we get to share those kind of opportunity which we as youth are going to benefit us. So I think that among the few importances that we also can benefit from our fellow. We also do we collaborate. So if I'm having a project and I need also donation from Kenya, so we collaborate. They support our programs, they support our innovative solution to our communities. We also support one another because we after the summit, we go and initiate different projects. So these entrepreneurial small projects, we support one another by looking for markets in the neighboring country and such other importances and benefits that we get by connecting with people, with our neighboring friends from Kenya and Uganda. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Katib, for a great response to the question. And I'd like to say thank you to all our panelists for sharing your stories, your great stories that we learned, and even our audiences have get to hear how inspiring they are and how transformative you are and how you have been transforming your communities. Thank you for taking chance in sharing your impact. And thank you to our audiences. I know some of them, it's evening now, and some of us it's morning. Thank you for taking your time to connect and get to listen our youth voices. We are very much humbled for you taking your time to be with us for celebrating this success. Thank you very much. And if you are, I know there are some questions, but due to time, we are not able to respond to all the questions. But drop any question to our email as seen on the slide. And also, in order to learn more about our programs, in order to learn more about the organization, you can visit our website, Asante Africa. You can also visit our social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, to be updated on whatever we do and get connected to whatever we implement within communities. Thank you very much for connecting with us. I'm sure from today's panel's real stories, real life event, you are able to know about the Asante Africa Foundation. You're able to know what we offer, and you're able to know how our alumni are being impacted. Thank you much. Thank you very much for connecting with us. And I'm sure it's not the first time we're going to connect. So looking forward for more connection, more partnering, more sharing of our success and how we operate our programs. Thank you very much. And I'd like to say good evening to East Africans, like Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. I know it's evening now. And also good day to those, it's a new day, like the US. We wish you all the best, whatever you do. Thank you for connecting with us.
Ooh.